Hello, my name's Noah, but my friends and family call me Nobi. I make things and videos and also play outside for fun, some of which is documented on this channel. I skateboard, fly fish, split board, and also make things that enable me to live this lifestyle as I work my way through engineering school at age 24. If any of that intrigues you for entertainment or educational purposes, please consider subscribing and checking out the rest of my current uploads already on this channel. Nice. Well, with that out of the way, let's jump into today's video. So, over the past 30 days, I have been on a mission to perfect kickflips, a crucial skill that I've sorely neglected over my 20 or so years on a skateboard. I challenged myself to do 300 kickflips in just 30 days in hopes that by the end of the process that I would live up to the title of this video. I documented the process in 3 installments on this channel if you want to go and watch them after this video. In this video, however, I'm going to kind of analyze and go over all of the 300 kickflips that I ended up doing and what I did wrong and some of the things that I did right. I'll also be going over all the things that I learned throughout the process and the 2 major keys that brought my kickflips from here to here. To wrap it all up, I will be doing a live trick tip and some skateboarding, some kickflips, where you will be able to decide if my professional kickflip claim is justified. So without further ado, let's hop over to the office where I can go over those 300 that I've done, and yeah, let's get right into it. Dare I say it, we have finally got the setup dialed. Okay, let's zoom in on the screen that I have here. No, you won't be looking at my beautiful face the whole time. We're doing a streamer style. It's getting weird. Never done this before, but hopefully this setup looks nice. So, this was the very first day, and I am just going to fast forward through to find... Okay, so I think this was actually like one of the worst ones, which is why I highlighted it at the beginning. So, take a look at this kickflip. Okay, so this is where I started out. They were rocketed, I was laying on my tail. Let's go watch the full week, or the full first day, the first 10. Okay, so as you can see, they're not the worst. Like, I've been skateboarding for 20 years now, almost coming up on 20 years, and so I know how to ride my board. I know how to flip my board, but my kickflip flick has never been quite proper. I broke my ankles a lot growing up, no excuse. But you can see here that they're rocketed. Some of them are clean, some of them are really sketchy. Overall, not consistent. These weren't done every try, obviously. Definitely not the best. Let's keep looking. I don't know, I can't get the bar to go away. I'm sorry. So you can see kind of more of the same. Rocketed. My foot kind of flicks. My front foot flicks kind of like backwards. Like if this is my flicking foot, instead of flicking forwards, it kind of flicks backwards a little bit. So I really had to break that muscle memory, and it took me almost the entire time to break that muscle memory. It wasn't until like the last 2 or 3 days that I was really starting to flick forward and make them look a little more proper and feel a little more proper. Okay, so a few of these I was actually pretty happy with at the time, I remember. So let's see. Let's watch these guys. I think this was day 14-ish. So those were like halfway through the challenge. Okay, I was happy with them, but watching these here, these are not acceptable in my opinion. Like I'm doing it, but I would not keep this in, like, say, a video part if it was in my line. I mean, maybe I would if it was like a goofy line, but let's go to week 4. This is where things really start to pick up. And it was only in like the last couple of days of the challenge that things actually picked up. Okay, this was the session that was really the turning point, in my opinion. This is where I really internalized flicking off the front, which is one of my major trick tips that you'll see. Flicking off the front of the board, going a little bit faster, and just trusting it to flick up to that back foot instead of flicking backwards and then trying to put both feet on at the same time. So this session was where that turning point really happened, so let's watch that. You can tell I look a little more comfortable on the board, flipping it, landing over top of the board instead of in the back seat terribly. Not quite as rocketed. That was the end of the session there. I squatted down to do it and didn't get back up. Okay, so that was the 257 kickflips later. So now let's go skip to the second to last session, which was really where all the progress culminated. The last session was only like 4 kickflips and I didn't actually skate that good. So the second to last session, I did like 40 or something kickflips and I liked a good amount of them. So let's watch that together and you can really see where I came from. So this was building on that last session where I was really trying to focus on flicking off the front foot. And this is kind of where, I don't know if you heard the saying, 2 to make it true. So this was where I really cemented that into my muscle memory. And again, if you want to watch these videos, they are up on my channel. This is my process videos, 30 days of kickflips, week 1, 2, and 3, and then 4. A little bail montage. So they're not perfect, obviously. Nobody lands everything every try. This one right here was one of my favorite kickflips of the challenge. The closest to the ideal kickflip that I set out to learn. And so we will watch that one. So you can see that I flick off the front of my nose, which is the goal, instead of having my foot flick backwards. It flicks right up to my back foot and I catch it nice. I look comfortable in the air and I land it on the bolts. This was the goal kickflip that I had in my mind and I had finally achieved. I think this was day 28-ish or something. Must have been like the 270 something ish kickflip. So let's watch that one a couple times so you can get an idea of what I wanted them to look like. That was my whole thing. Let's watch the 300th kickflip. I was not really happy with the session, full disclosure. That one was okay, but the 300th kickflip was a little anticlimactic for me. It was good. I just wanted it to be better, but there you have it. That is my analysis of the process, going over it, and now I'm gonna hop over to the iPad. I have some clips that I filmed over the past 3 or 4 weeks or so since the end of this video of me kind of putting it to the test and landing some kickflip variations out in the wild. So let's take a look at that. We should be live on the iPad. Okay, and so let's take a look at some of these clips. So this was a dream trick of mine for a very long time, just to do a frontside flip on a wall of some sort, whether it be a steep bank or a full-blown quarter pipe. This is kind of a mix between the two, and I do it a little bit far down. I was just learning them, like, this is the first time I've ever done this trick, and so I'm super stoked on this. I did it a couple times. I have a couple of makes and a couple of misses here. So these ones I wasn't super happy with. I had done them better off camera, of course. That one, I wish I had landed that one. I caught it really nice. And so these are just some examples of what I have been able to do with my skateboarding since learning how to properly flick a kickflip. And I've been having so much fun skateboarding now that I can kickflip. That was alright. So much of my mental things that I want to do on a skateboard and so much that I love to watch in skateboarding is kickflip tricks. And so when I get to the skate park now, I'm excited, I'm invigorated. I'm just so excited to try new things that involve kickflips, because in the past I avoided them, quite frankly, because I couldn't do them very well. Let's watch that one again. That one was pretty good. I was fairly happy with that. Decent. I definitely want to do it higher up the wall, but this is what I had for this video, so you can kind of just see authentically where I ended up. And these were a couple attempts. I was really wanting to do a kickflip nose manual. That's another dream trick of mine. So I tried it for a good couple hours in the heat, but I didn't get it. But I just included some of the attempts here so that you could see that I can kickflip up a 8-inch curb, 6-inch curb, which I couldn't do before. So that's pretty cool. I never got the kickflip nose manual, but I was pretty excited that I was landing the kickflips up the curb a bunch, which is pretty cool. And this is the final one, just another angle of that frontside flip. That one was a little better. This was the first one I filmed. I had done it the night before off camera, and then I finally got it filmed. Let's watch that one more time. This is probably my favorite one that I have on film. Let's zoom her in a little bit. So I'm stoked. This is kind of the culmination. I definitely could not do this before, so very excited about that. Let's see, I do a front side flip, which is another trick I'm learning now that I can flick now in this little video. Here's a kickflip that I did in a line right here. Take a look at that. Also just learned backtails, which I'm stoked. This is actually a YouTube short on my channel. Okay, so this was the front side flip right here. So I keep doing them, I land them like that and then pivot it the rest of the way. So I gotta get better at those. But the kick flips that I've been doing has also helped me with my switch flips. So you can see here, my switch flips are getting pretty good too. And so I'm super excited about all the flicks going on these days. That switch flip honestly might have been better than my best kick flip from the video series. And before I learned how to kick flip like I have now, switch flips were my go-to. I could do switch flips better for some reason. The flick just made sense. And so now my regular kick flips are finally approaching those switch flips. But that is all I really have for you on the analysis side of things, looking at it. And so now I'm going to send it back over to Outdoors Noah to have a little skate session and do a little live trick tip. I'll get on my board and we'll do it old school style, up my shoes on my hands. No, I'm just playing. Let me know if you get that reference watching trick tips. Most of the skaters probably will put the shoes on the hands and show them where to flick. I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to share with you the keys to success that really helped me, that I started with. So I started with one key that allowed me to even get to be able to do 10 kickflips in a session. Before, I'd say a month before I started this challenge, maybe even a week, I couldn't even get close to that. I was scared of kickflips. And so I'm going to share with you that tip, and then I will share with you the sort of refinement tip that helped me take it from finally landing them to landing them properly and with correct form. That is allowing me to now take it to the next level. And so, yeah, without further ado, jump over there, and yeah, I'll see you over there. Alright, look, we gotta do this quick because I saw security over there parked, chumming it up with another car. It might have been a cop. Don't know. Either way, not really supposed to be here, but there isn't really a better place for me to skate flat ground in the area. So, Vancouver, make better skate spots. Anyway, so trick tip, we're here. So, I already kind of hinted at the two major keys that really helped me be successful with my kickflips. The first one is, actually I don't think I said the first one. So the first one is, it sounds simple, and I swear I'm not trying to clickbait you or screw you over, but the first major key that took me from being scared of kickflips and getting caught up in weird ways to actually landing them was to lift my back foot off of the board. And it sounds weird, but it makes sense when you think about it. So when you do an ollie, you push the board forward and you catch the tail on your back foot. And so the whole time, like until like 3 months ago, when I would do kickflips, I'd be like, it's just an ollie, but you flick at the end. But that's not true. Because if you flick at the end of your ollie, it will get caught on your back foot and kind of just like do a forward flip, and it doesn't work. Straight up, it doesn't work. And so I literally did not know how people kickflipped. I thought it was a fucking miracle that people could kickflip, and that I just didn't get the kickflip gene. And then a dude at the skate park, I was skating with him, and also I think there was a YouTube short that I watched, both like in the same like day or two, gave me that tip to just lift your back foot up and just worry about flipping it up to your back foot. I was like, huh, that's weird, that seems so simple. And then I tried it and it freaking worked. So that was the first thing that even got me to the point where I was like, okay, I could do this challenge and really perfect this technique now. And like that was the first tip that got me to really believe in myself. I was like, oh wait, I could do kickflips how I see people do kickflips and how I want to do kickflips. So that was the first major tip that like blew my mind. The second tip was over the refinement of the challenge. What I learned is that you really want to flick off of like the front of your board, and you want your leg to flick forward. And that is what I have in mind now when I do my kickflips. The lifting the back foot has become muscle memory. That's just kind of a given now. And so now when I'm like, this kickflip isn't working out how I want it to, I focus on flicking literally straight off the front of the nose. And obviously it doesn't go straight off the front because that would do probably a forward flip. But for me, to break my muscle memory of kicking kind of down and backwards, which is how a lot of people learn it in middle school-ish, that's what I have to think of when I go to do a kickflip. I like flick off the nose, like off the front, kick your leg forward. Yeah, so those are the two huge trick tips that got me from like not being able to kickflip to doing what I started out wanting to be able to do, which were like quasi-professional looking kickflips. So that's the big value bomb drop of this video, is those two tricks right there. So lift the back foot up right after you pop. You pop that and you just get your back foot out of the way. And when you get more and more refined at it, what you do is you pop that back foot and you get it in position and you kind of curl it up to catch the board. And then what the front foot does is it flicks off the nose, flicks the kickflip, and what that does is rotates right up to that back foot. You catch it like that, set it down bolts. What I've decided to do, I think, would be a good payoff for this video is I'm going to roll a montage of all of my favorite kickflips from the challenge, from what I filmed after the challenge, some of the stuff you saw in the analysis portion of this video. I'm going to run it all back so you can see my favorites and judge for yourself if you think I've achieved that status of professional level kickflips. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments if you think I made it, if you think I'm a load of shit. Whatever you got, let me know. I'm happy to chat with you guys. But anyway, that's the video. We did it, and so I'm actually going to send it over back to Crisscross on the Grass, Noah, for some final words. Thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for watching this video and the whole series, if you ended up watching those as well. It means the world to me. This has been my baby kind of all summer. Obviously I spent a month doing kickflips for this video, all with kind of this culmination, this overview video in mind. So it's been a long process. It's a little bit higher production quality than my usual videos, and so I'm very excited about it. I hope you like it. Let me know down in the comments what you thought, if you want to see something more like this, and yeah, subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video. It will really help get this into the algorithm and all that good stuff. And yeah, I really appreciate it, everything. I have a ton of fun making these videos, as you can tell, and as I've already said, so roll the outro music.